Newcastle 1, Arsenal 2. Time to get into the player ratings. David Raya in goal. Let's get straight to it. As they're showing Gabriel's handball, to me it's a clear handball. I don't know why that wasn't given, but to me it's a clear handball. Anyway, we'll get to that. David Raya in goal. Didn't really have much to do. The header he had no chance with. No chance. But he wasn't called into action to make any big saves. I'm going to give David Raya a 6. Urian Timber, I think he shut down Anthony Gordon pretty well. He's always solid, Timber. I love Timber. He is always solid defensively. Going forward, he's good as well. And, I'm going to give Timber a 7. Mosquera, I'm going to give Mosquera a 4. Big mistake today. Big mistake. Put the ball out for a corner. Horrible back pass that led to Newcastle's goal. And, but I'll give him a break. First mistake in an Arsenal shirt. A pretty big mistake. But first mistake in an Arsenal shirt. As Arteta's getting interviewed right now. Big mistake, but we got away with it in the end. That's still not going to help his player rating. 4. Gabriel got away with a handball. Should have been a handball. Should have been a penalty. Got away with one. But I thought today he was solid. Well, actually, it was his fault for the goal, really. Wildermaid rises above Gabriel. And there's a little push, but it's nothing. But it doesn't constitute a foul. There's a little push on Gabriel. Gabriel goes down. He dove. I mean, let's just call a spade here. He dove. And it was not a foul. It was not a foul. So he has to get dock points for that. But the goal that he scored in the 96th minute to save us 2 points, incredible. Clutch. That's awesome from him. So Gabriel, I'm going to give Gabriel a 7. Calafiori, I'm going to give Calafiori a 7. No, a 6. A 6. I thought Calafiori was good today. I thought he was slightly above average. So maybe not good. I would say slightly above average. But I think he defended well. He did okay going forward, but I don't think he was as good as Timber. 6. Zubamendi, I'm going to have to give a 5 again. I don't see him causing disruption in the middle of the park. He's a ball-playing CDM. He is a deep-lying playmaker. But going forward, he does like turning up the pitch. He does like making progressive passes. But I think overall, defensively, I didn't see enough of him. That's not really his game, but still, that has to be a part of his game. That has to be, something that he thinks about. Something that he needs to work on. And his progressive passing, I didn't see him make enough key passes today to really give him a high mark. I've not been impressed with Zubamendi so far since he's been in an Arsenal shirt. I'm going to give Zubamendi. I just got to be real. I just got to call a spade a spade. I like Zubamendi. I think he'll come good, but I've got to see it more frequently. Zubamendi 5, Rice 7. I thought Rice was fantastic today. Possibly an 8. He got 8. I'm going to give him an 8. He got an assist for Marino's goal. Good ball into the box. Marino did the work, though, with that header. That was a fantastic header. But Rice puts the ball in the box. Puts the ball into the box. that wins us the corner, that ends up winning us the game as well. I thought defensively he was solid. There were a couple times where he tracked back, made some great defensive recoveries. Rice is an all-action midfielder. You know what you get with him: high intensity, high work rate, quality on the ball most of the time. And today he had all of that. He had all three of those things. Fantastic from Rice. 8. Eze, I'm gonna give Eze. If I'm giving Timber a 7, I'm gonna give Eze a 7. I think Eze, his 2 shots in the first half, I think he could have done. I think there's not much he could have done better on those 2 shots. The first shot was a good save from Pope. He could have shot it a little bit more into that corner, but that's asking a lot. It was on the half volley, tough effort. His second shot, again, I don't expect him to score that. He got it on target. Incredible. Not incredible. Sorry, guys. I'm so excited from the result. The first shot was an incredible save from Pope. The second shot was kind of right at him. But I thought he created well. I was so happy to see Eze starting instead of Marino. I was so happy to see that. And we played better. We played better when Eze was starting in that number 10 role. We looked more dangerous going forward. So Eze, I'm going to give him a 7. Saka, 5. I don't think he played well today. He is coming back from injury. So we have to give him a little bit of time. But he's kind of had a slow start to the season. Scored against Leeds, but hasn't really done much else in the other games. Good player, obviously. Probably our best player. But today he wasn't on it. 5. Trossard, I'm going to give Trossard 5 is a little bit too harsh. I'm going to give Trossard a 6. I thought he was better than Saka on the ball. He should have scored his chance, though. He should have scored his chance. He had an opportunity to score, and he hit the post. He should have scored. So, he gets docked points for that. But I thought his game overall was solid, 6. And Gyökeres, I'm going to give Gyökeres a 4. Poor today. Slipped with an opportunity to shoot and score. Completely slipped. Held the ball up well a couple of times, but for the most part, kind of got bullied by the center halves. I think he had like 1 shot in the whole game, or 2 shots. That's not good enough. He needs to be shooting more, but we need to feed him the ball more often. Eze slipped him in behind, and that's when he slipped. But other than that, I didn't see much from Gyökeres. 4. The substitutes, this is what changed the game. Marino, I'm giving Marino an 8. Instant impact off the bench. Sloppy. There was one time where he went to pass the ball and he passed it right out of play. But that goal was massive for us. That goal was huge. Incredible header. What a finish. And that's what got us back in the game. And that gave us the platform to go on and win it. I'm going to give Marino an 8. Martinelli, I'm going to give him a 5. I didn't really see him do much. But I did want him to come on. I wanted him to come on for Trossard. He ended up coming on for Saka. I thought, you keep Saka on because he can always give you a moment of individual brilliance. But Saka, he didn't play well. Martinelli came on, didn't really have much of an impact. 5. Miles Lewis-Skelly, I'm going to give him a 5. No, I'm going to give him a 6. Had a slight impact on the game. No, 5, 5. Because he had an opportunity where Odegaard played a brilliant pass in behind, slipped him in behind. Slipped him in behind. And, I felt like he could have passed it earlier than he did. It ended up getting blocked. But I thought he had a good dynamic when he came on. I'm giving him a 5, though. I don't think it was 6. Like, he didn't have a lot of time. If he was on for longer, I'd give him a 6. Odegaard 7. Incredible substitution. This has been the case with Martinelli, and hopefully it's the case with Odegaard. When you bring in competition in your position, the hope is it ups everyone's level. It makes everyone better. And Odegaard today came on, and with Eze competing with him for that number 10 position, Odegaard today came on and looked really good. Again, that pass in behind to Lewis Skelly was phenomenal. He had the assist for the goal that won us the game off the corner. Brilliant stuff. I was very happy with what I saw from Martin Odegaard today. I'm giving him a 7. And then were there any other substitutes? Saliba came on at halftime. I'll give Saliba a 6. I think he did well. I think if he played the full game, I would have given him a 7. But I think he did well when he came on. I'm giving him a 6. Arteta. I like the team selection. My only complaint was Trossard starting. He missed that chance. He had the post. I genuinely think if Martinelli's on the pitch, he scores that with his recent form. But Trossard comes on, but Trossard starts. Okay, I didn't have much of a problem with that, specifically because Eze started in the 10, and your only options at that point are either Trossard or Martinelli on that left-hand side. I guess Odegaard wasn't fit enough to start. Honestly, going forward, I want to see Eze start. I think he made a big difference today, especially in that opening 30 minutes. And then he slipped Gyökeres in behind in the second half. I think he can make that difference on a weekly basis, especially against easier opposition that sit behind the ball where we have to break them down at home. I think Eze can unlock those doors better than Odegaard can. And he's a goal-scoring threat. He's not afraid to shoot. So I like seeing Eze starting in that number 10. So much better than Marino. I hope Arteta finally sees that starting Marino as a number 10 cannot work. It cannot work. You have to start somebody with an attacking sense in that position. Eze or Odegaard are those players. So credit to Arteta for starting Eze today. I thought team selection was good. I thought the substitutions is what changed the game. So Arteta, I'm giving him an 8. I normally criticize him. I couldn't blame him for why we were down 1-0. It felt like we were the better team, even though we were down 1-0. At halftime, at least. So I can't blame Arteta. I can blame the players for not finishing their chances. But Arteta, I can't blame him. 8. The referee gets a 0. Awful. Should have gave us a penalty. Should have gave Newcastle a penalty. There were a couple of other decisions that I don't remember off the top of my head that he fumbled. I think the ref was awful today, 0. But anyway, guys, those are the player ratings. I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Share the video. Leave a comment. And I'll catch you guys later. Olympiacos in midweek. Peace.